Octavia is probably my favorite Helluva Boss character, and her main episodes, Lululand as well as Seeing Stars, are two of my favorite ones as well, but how would I describe her? As an anxious teenager who struggles with her father? Yeah. Beyond that? She's first introduced in Lululand as an adorable little owlet till we smash cut to her current self, miserable due to her parents fighting. The rest of the episode focuses around her suffering under Stolas behavior, which causes her to run away, till he finds and comforts her, talking about how hard being a dad really is, but assuring her that he'll do his best. Octavia was defined through her relationship to her father. Which sounds like a negative, but that's actually a great way of introducing a new character. This approach gave us a reason to immediately care about her while fleshing out the way we perceived Stolas. Sure, it led to her being pretty shallow, but she was just a side character without a single line for the rest of the season. And it did establish a base and personality that could be easily built upon. Did Seeing Stars, her next real episode, do that? Well, we started by showing her as an adorable little owlet till we smash cut to her current self, miserable due to her parents fighting. Stolas' behavior causes her to run away till Luna finds and comforts her, talking about how hard being a dad really is, but assuring her that he'll do his best. She acts the same way due to the same person doing the same thing. The thing you should be doing, by the way, is of course leaving a like and subscribing. Seeing Stars didn't flesh out her character, it showed the same skeleton of one, as her primary role in the episode was being a MacGuffin, which is totally fine in the context of the episode itself. But it not developing her means the entire show not doing so for almost half a decade. But did Sinsmas finally change this? Well, yes, isn't? It's weird. She definitely has a lot of time for herself, with multiple slower scenes which solely focus on her feelings and how she acts as a result. That's great. Yet almost all of her actions are reactions to her parents, primarily Stolas. Once again, she's nothing more than an embodiment of the consequences of Stolas' behavior. That is an important role in the show, and she fills it very well, but she's entirely dependent on it. Yet, aren't all side characters entirely dependent on the main cast? I mean, it's not like we randomly cut to strike her out on a shopping spree. He only gets screen time when he has an impact on a main character, so why is this a problem for Octavia, but not for him? Well, what do you think Striker does when he's off screen? Plotting some plan, working some hitman job, being at a saloon, losing a game of chess against his horse for all I care. I could come up with a plethora of actions. What about Octavia? What are her hobbies and interests?
What would you like to do now?
Oh, can we go to Stylish Coles? They sell weird taxidermy there.
Oh, so she's into weird taxidermy. I can work with that. Where can we see that interest? Nowhere. Never talks about it again, we never see it, her room doesn't have anything like it. She has a lot of books, yet we never see her read. Does she like alternative music? I mean, she listens to it a lot, but her own song has an entirely different style, and Helluva Boss is a musical, so yeah, there's gonna be music in it. There's only one interest I can't call into question. Her room has a telescope, books about stars, her shirt has stars on it as well, Stolas calls her Starfire, and it's even the driving force behind her actions in Seeing Stars. She's into astronomy. Cool. Her personality is angsty, kind of reads, kind of into music, into astronomy. So she's kind of Stolas. To be frank, she doesn't have any major interests beside astronomy, Stolas' main theme, and even if we're being generous and count her love for music and books, it's hard to argue that they aren't connected to him as well. I think I could make a fair argument that Helluva Boss in its entirety all plays around Stolas' grimoire. Blitz and Stolas' main connection, what enables IMP to exist and enter the human world, even the plot device in episodes like Mastermind, they are all Stolas' book. And her guitar literally says "Love Dead" on the back. And that's not even the end of it. Interests aside, what are Octavia's main character traits? Depression and anxiety. I wonder where I've seen that before. Hey, do you like Stolas? Why not try the new Stolas Light? All the character, no sugar. And remember, both her being depresso and anxiety are both directly caused by Stolas and Stella's constant fighting. Her interests and personality are copy-pasted from her dad, her storylines revolve around him. Octavia isn't written as a character suffering under Stolas' actions and divorce, she's written as if that was a character. But this might finally be changing. While her actions in Sinsmas were reactions to her parents, it ends by setting her up to act as her own independent character from now on. She feels tormented by Stella, attacks Androlphus, and pushes away Stolas. I am really curious as to how she will develop now that she's antagonistic towards her entire family. Will she really stay away from Stolas? Will she fight back against Androlphus and maybe even Stella? I don't know, and her rebelling against them is much more important than you might think. Before I get to that, the self-promotion doesn't end with me telling you to like and subscribe today, because I now have a Patreon and YouTube memberships. If you want early access to videos, exclusive ones, and a ton of other perks, check them out. The reason as to why Androlphus was the one taking over Stolas' possessions was Octavia being a minor, which she won't be for much longer. Her age was confirmed to be 17 all the way back in Season 2's first episode. When she turns 18, there will be chaos, with her at the center of it. This would be incredibly interesting, as well as a very natural way to progress her story, but does it address her problems? Well, how could it? Remember Striker, purely on screen when affecting her main character, still has multiple well-rounded personalities, because it isn't a storyline that flashes out a character, it's how a character acts within one. The storyline itself is of course important. It dictates the amount of agency a character has and the number of choices they get to make, but Octavia, who had plenty of both, still ends up shockingly two-dimensional, even for a drawn character. No matter how many opportunities for characterization a story provides, the writing still has to take them, and Octavia's doesn't. Striker's Western theme is present in so many aspects of his character. He uses a whip, has a horse, it's even the theme of his lair, and all of that ties in with him being first introduced as a farmhand. We could take away his whip, turn his horse into glue, and his lair into a warehouse. All of his episodes would play out the exact same way, because these aspects aren't important to them. But they are important to him. Storylines give structure and opportunities, Striker takes them and builds a distinct personality around it. Octavia, I don't know, what's her theme? Being royalty? I mean, it isn't important to her personality, it seemingly doesn't mean anything to her, and she talks to Luna, a hellhound, like she would to a person of her own social class. She enjoys mocking others, but that doesn't even come up in Seeing Stars, as she doesn't have a real conversation with a single human, and the only time she acts this way in Sinsmas is her contributing one sentence to blitzmocking Androlphus. She does what storylines demand. That's kind of it, and the storylines themselves sure aren't helping either. We already compared Lululand to Seeing Stars, only to find out it's the "can I copy your homework? Yeah, but change it a little" equivalent to a story. And yes, Seeing Stars is one of my favorite episodes. After all, it copied my favorite episode. But don't worry, this doesn't actually mean that she runs away in 2 out of her 3 stories. Because she runs away in 3 out of 3. Her storylines do give her a lot of agency, they give her a lot of choices. Or rather, they give her a lot of choice, as it's the same one over and over again. What does she do when she feels overwhelmed and tormented? She runs away. Octavia needs different stories while being a person outside of her stories. The best way to achieve this is giving her a character arc. Right now she keeps running away, but this doesn't tie into any aspect of her personality. She isn't timid, she isn't easily scared, she doesn't bury her head in the sand when there's a tough decision. She likes mocking others, but this low-key only happens in Lululand. I ran out of things she likes to do. A mini arc, even if it's contained to a singular episode, would be a great way to fix this. It can't be her standing up for herself instead of running away, as she was forced to do so in Sinsmas. She had to fight Androlphus, as he would have ended Stolas otherwise. She confronted Stolas afterwards and did not forgive him, but the blaming him for taking antidepressants part kinda ruined it. I'm not even depressed, I just look like this, and even for me, that scene was uncomfortable to sit through. But there is one trait that could easily be the center of a little arc. We already know Vasago is going to be part of season 3, so why not have Octavia run away a 4th time to seek his help? vivziepop did confirm that he is a good boy, yet he also looks like a soft boy. So why not have him help Octavia till her snarkiness hurts his feelings and pushes him away, which makes her learn not to be rude to those who don't deserve it. Or just something. Genuinely, just freaking something. Give her more and actual character traits that are a real part of her personality. Not just a few actions that resemble one. Simply by letting her escape her role and be an actual person, she could turn into a relatable, tragic and moving character. That's all Helluva has to do. But what you now have to do is of course leave a like and subscribe. And if you want early access or exclusive videos, check out my YouTube memberships or my Patreon.